When you do nothing, meaning nothing in your brain to work on, the mind is quiet. So calm and quiet mind is basically doing nothing but in your brain because you are still alive. Your mind may be empty, empty mind, nothingness. Maybe the thought may pop up like a clouds, but you don't deal with them. Just watch and it go away. So go back to nothing. So the nothingness, doing nothing, is the basis of something. It's not nothing but something. What is that something that is coming out of nothing? You may be tired of listening to this weird story, but if you can bear with it, it's very important. If I say it simply, what comes if you do nothing? You start to know what's going on within yourself. But if you know something, you are doing something, but know what's going on is, or maybe seen as awareness, being aware of what's going on. So calm and quiet mind is kind of equal to doing nothing in your brain. And when you have that, well, you want to experience yourself, explore by yourself instead of believing what I say, because that's the whole point. You don't need to be told what to do. You are just discovering out of nothingness. But for the sake of conversation, I can say a few things. And then afterward, you can practice doing nothing. Just stay in calm and quiet mind to figure out. Let's see. If I do nothing, first thing I may notice is that my shoulder is not stiff, my muscle is not stiff. So there's some awareness about the physical change. Or it could be the breathing become more quiet. If you stay in that calm and quiet mind and doing nothing, you start to see the breathing is becoming quiet, more subtle. And you get into a state of emptiness. So let's see, if you get to the state of emptiness or nothingness, what's there? I want you to figure this out and want you to tell me in this comment column if you like. I may read it and give you a response, or you can share the thought among whoever wants to talk about it. But the key is to experience it and to explore what it is instead of listening to my story. So, for the sake of this tape, I would say a few things about this doing nothing. I said the muscle tension may be more relaxed, and you may notice your posture to be a little odd, so you may straighten up your spine. You may be closing your eyes because you don't need to have any distraction to move your mind because you are to be in nothing state, no mind state. And you stay there if you can. Maybe your thought will pop up and you get thrown away from doing nothing. That's okay. And if you notice, you go back to nothingness, calm and quiet mind. So keep doing it. That's basically about the meditation. So why we do that? Because you discover something about your physiology, biofeedback, your thought, what happens when your thought pops up. Some thought may be more relaxing, some thought may be more stressful, and your monkey mind start to play a game by itself. So that's part of your knowing yourself, what's going on in your mind and body. So what's the point of getting to know what's going on in your mind and body? Because when you start to know what's going on, that knowing is an insight, awareness of something, including the posture or muscle tone or breathing or sensation on your tip of your finger or on your foot, or the sound of the birds out, or the temperature, whatever that is. You open up your awareness to multidimensional area, like I was mentioning there. Multidimensional sounds weird. It's just the way it is. So you call it multidimensional. That's mind saying that, but it's just the way of how you perceive. So you become the observer without bringing your mind into that game, if you call this a game. Mind like to play a game, so you may not be able to do it, but you keep doing it. Sitting quietly, perhaps eyes closed, relaxed, and focusing your attention to what's going on. Breathing, posture, tension in your muscle, if there is, or some level of vibration in the finger or palm or on your feet, the temperature, pressure, wind blowing and touching your skin, whatever that is, and the mind that pops up because you're not used to it. So mind has a tendency to want to do something. That's okay. But what's the impact of it? You may be busy, kept up with mind of doing this, what to do, when this happens, what you're going to say, whatever that is. You keep busy. You are not here and now. You're thinking away from what's going on. And like I said, there's an insight you may come up out of that nothingness. Let me talk scientifically a little bit, or physiologically or psychologically. I don't know what's the word, but when in your nothingness, no mind state, calm, quiet mind state, you may realize something. Small thing, but some interesting thought, some creative thought. The reason is that when the mind is powerful, mind is involved in certain aim, doing something, or expecting something, or dealing with something, which means you're not doing something else, what's going on. So more you are doing something all the time, you are not listening and connecting to what's going on, something else. But we are one with all that collection of something else, including some of the other parts of the brain, not just the physical sensation and all that. So what happens? It's almost like being natural, to let things to happen naturally, right? Because artificial thing is thinking that human develop. But if you don't do the thinking, you're letting go and see what happens as the nature may prevail. So you might want to discover that, because if you know what the nature does in your mindless or no mind state, people call it mindfulness, but it may be called as mindless state. because you're not thinking and doing anything with your mind. When you are in that state, the nature can breathe its own breathing and feel utilizing the senses that may be covered by the mind busyness. You may start to notice the stomach is hurting actually because you're thinking too much and stressed. So you start to listen what all the parts of your body and the sensation indicating a response to that nothingness and calm and quiet mind. So you dive into it to try it out. You may find something interesting that you didn't know existed. I don't want to create any imagination, so I wish you practice it, and as you feel, you can talk to yourself or discuss it. Many literatures and talks about meditation would discuss those things probably, or they should, in my view. The insight you gain, awareness you gain, may start to make you to want to be in that state of nothingness, calm and quiet mind, as you experience more. If you're an experienced person, you may just confirm and keep on going and appreciate what it does. It's like a brain is connecting with heart and body as a whole. And the nature helps to bridge the gap that may have been existed. And I want to say that's very healthy. The gap means stress, bottleneck, lack of awareness, not utilizing the potential of what you got inside, and giving a burden to some organs or the nerve system or whatever that is. Also, you may not be connecting to what's the other part of your brain, what's doing. There may be some information and desire that need to be resolved because there's a blockage or unresolved stress from the point of view of nature. It sounds kind of funny, so maybe I'll stop here. But the point is, I think it's very well worth to explore it. So we can use the brain and then listen to heart, body, to find what we may be missing possibly, or we may find the very peaceful, blissful state of nothingness. And what that may mean, we may explore further. Maybe there's nothingness as the nature prevails there. So in human world, if we just live in our mind, this whole discussion may be useless. But it could be meaningful. Why? Because maybe there's a different dimension in life that we'll discover and find a way to connect or bridge the gap so we become a whole with new insight. I think that's enough. I wish you try this out and good luck. Thank you.